So Assalamu alaikum, I'm going to share a suit with you that I recently purchased from online. So I'm going to give you some advice and some tips on what to do, and also to be prepared for disappointment. Sometimes when you order online, things don't always come as you expected them to. Looking at this suit, it's absolutely stunning on the photo. So the photos can be very deceiving, especially if it's a suit that's a photo of an original and you are buying a replica and it's a lot cheaper. Then be wary of what is going to come. But having said that, if you've gone and ordered and if something's come and it's not to your liking, then have a secondary plan in position, because sometimes it's not a possibility to send all the way back to India, all the way back to Pakistan, say if you're in the States or if you're in Australia or Canada or anywhere, because the cost of sending the item back, especially on a replica, fair enough if it was an original and you paid 100 and something pounds for it, but buying a replica for maybe 20-30 pounds and then spending so much on the cost of shipping as well and sending it back is not a possibility. So that's basically what happened with this suit. I purchased this looking at the photo. I sort of like got carried away and I thought, oh, that looks amazing, let's try it out and see what the actual suit is like. So the suit came, I did a review on it, and whilst doing the review, what I noticed was that there was damage in the suit. So straight away I contacted the retailer, the wholesaler, and I mentioned to him that there's a fault with the suit and you know what they want me to do, because I'm not happy with it. Obviously it's the cost of the suit and it's also carriage as well. Now any good reputable seller would actually have a discussion with you about the suit. Anyone who tries to fob you off then is not a very reputable seller, and be wary. Anyway, this lady that I purchased this from, when she phoned me straight away and she said, look, I'm really sorry, I checked it and I videoed it and I sent it to her and I said, look, here's the damage in it, the dupatta is torn and I don't know what to do. I said, give me a family contact here and I will send it to them, and you know, you can refund me or I'll buy something else. She thought about that and she said, you know what, just keep the suit and I'll refund you the money. So I said, keep hold of the money and next time I buy something, just deduct it from that. In the meantime, if you want, I don't mind, I'll send it to whoever you want me to send it to, as long as it's not to Pakistan, because sending a parcel to Pakistan is quite costly. And she said, no, you know what, just do what you like with it, sew it for the kids or whatever. Anyway, that's exactly what I decided to do. My secondary plan for the suit was that I'm going to design this for little girls, and the good thing is that yes, the dupatta was torn and it wasn't, the suit was nothing like this, put it this way. The embroidery was, this looks like a very heavy quality type of embroidery, and also it's an adult suit and you could not have made this design of an adult suit from the fabric that was supplied. The Garrara, there wasn't sufficient fabric to make that kind of drapes or gathers. Anyway, so I decided to make it for Inaya and Sarah and another little girl in the family. So that's basically what I've done. I've cut out three suits out of this. Now the other thing that I did was, the lining that came with this fabric was of this quite mismatched colour and not really to my liking. As you can see, yes, it brightens up the colour in that one, but I actually prefer the duller look, the more of a rosier colour than the terracotta. You know, the terracotta and silver didn't really go. So I did away with the lining. The lining wasn't sufficient to do everything anyway. And that's one of the other problems, that when you get cheap suits from abroad, you get insufficient fabric with it to fully line the sharara and the top. Now often if you're in a country where you don't have accessibility like we do here in the UK, okay, then you're going to have problems trying to match up all the bits. So when you order, make sure to mention that, can you send me, charge me a little bit extra, but can you send me enough fabric that I can line the top and the bottom? Because often when you go around hunting, even if I went around hunting for this fabric, there's no guarantee that I will find the exact same color, and if I used a slightly different color shading on the top and the bottom, you know, the difference will be apparent. So the only other way around it is that I do away with this fabric, like I have in those you know, children's case, do away with that fabric and then you know, buy your own. But that means additional expenses and also fabrics that you've really got no need for and you're looking after them. And us women are terrible hoarders. Now if you look at my rooms, they are I can't get myself to throw anything away, and I have got piles and piles. So you know, this lining now is left. Luckily I didn't have to go out and buy. I still have lots of remnants from the shop days, so I've just managed to find something else that I'm going to use with these suits. Okay, so from this one suit I have managed to design 3 little Garrara suits. I will share those suits with you, and I'm going to just advise you on how to go about cutting. Okay, so the dupatta, I took away from the edges the lace, and basically this was on the dupatta was done on all 4 sides, as you can see. It came with already beads attached to it, so this was like a fairly loose kind of a seam that was done, and I've taken away these 2 pieces of laces, and these I'm going to be using on the children's damans or wherever I need to apply these on. So from the dupatta I took away, and there was a you know, where there was the tear, I've taken it away, and I've cut from the side of that. I've cut the 2 little girls Garraras, and the centerpiece I had left over, so there's enough left here to make Inaya a scarf. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off with this white edging lace, and then that will sort of give her a nice long scarf as well. So that's Inaya's scarf. I'm going to share Inaya's first of all. Okay, so this is her Garrara, and what I've done with the Garrara is, first of all, I've cut the lining. I've just cut it like a fairly loose type of a trouser. Move these away, put these piece to piece, and you'll sort of realize what I'm talking about. So this is just like these are 2 legs, and I've just done a straight sort of a straight trouser cut, which I'm going to sew and drop on the inside of that. So that's just like a straight legged trouser. That's the crotch area, and it's just going to get attached at the crotch. Turn the bottoms over, do an inside all round seam, and then attach the 2 together on the. Okay, so this is one of the legs. This is the Garrara one. Okay, that's one leg. So we're going to have that leg there, and then these were the pieces. Now see, that for an adult is not sufficient, and I've cut an additional small amount which I'm going to add to that, and then that will get the gathers, and that will become the Garrara. And the lace that we had left over from here, I'm going to apply that back on, so that it gives it a little bit of a detailing on the thigh area. So we've got that piece, and then that's places for the upper, and that is, so that is the full Garrara cut. Okay, so all I need to do now is put the gathers in, attach these 2 pieces together, put the gathers in this, attach these pieces to the upper portion of the leg area, attach the lace that's going to get overlaid, and basically that's my one. And I've cut exactly the same in the little girls. So I'm just going to quickly give you a little bit of an advice tip when you're measuring for a Garrara. Measure from the waist to the knee area and the knee to the ankle area. Sort of just jot those measurements. Now this is a straightforward piece that's cut to from the knee to the ankle, and then from the knee to the waist is a small area of the crutch, so that would be from the knee to the crutch area, which is roughly about 6 inches, about 5-6 inches, and then your crutch, which will probably be on a child, it'll be about 9 inches. Okay, and that's Inaya's sharara. For the dress that's going to go on this, obviously we want the dress to where the Garrara gathers are going to start. So again, I've cut 2 lining pieces. I've cut the dress from the from the net, and what we have is this additional piece came with it, and that is going to be on the top bodice. Okay. And then we've got full embroidered net sleeves. Again, this is like an itchy type of fabric, so make sure to line the sleeves as well. For a child, I think is going to be an amazing result. So that is, okay, that's the other piece. Make sure all the pieces are here. This one sleeve missing. Right, for the babies, just going to share the babies with you as well. I'll share one of the babies with you. And again, this is all from the leftover pieces off. After we'd cut Inaya's, we went around cutting the other 2. I managed to make 3 suits. Again, this is just like a same cut as the other one, just a smaller size. This is like for a 2-year-old. And the length of this is approximately, not sure what the length of this is. Okay, 24 inches fully. So with that 24, I will need the turnings and so on. So this is the upper portion of the crutch that's going to go on over here. And then we've got 2 pieces. We've got 2 pieces like this, the crutch. So my today's mission is to sew, and we're already, actually I'm behind on time because I started. Okay, that's going to go on. These are going to get gathers and get attached to that. And then I've got 2 sleeves and sleeve lining. And again, I've got the short kameez with, and the leftover piece that I had from the scarf, I will be adding to the daman of these kameeza, just to give them. And we had little pieces left over from the bodice, and I've designed 2 necklines, 2 upper portion bodices to just give that like a good combined effect. Now all it requires is the sewing. So I've got 3 suits like this which I shall be sewing, and then if I have time, I have designed, I'm going to prepare all these so that once I change the thread, I can get on with it and actually finish these off. Hopefully, inshallah. Okay, that's all my leftover pieces. Okay, the other one that I'm going to share with you is this pink. Okay, and this is, let's see what we've got. Right, we've got two suits here. One is a bootlegged trouser and kameez. This is organza, this is tissue organza, and again this is fabric that goes back to my shop days, and I have fully lined this with, okay, I've got some leftover pieces, put the pieces away. Just put that one away. I'm going to share. Okay, this is the bootleg trouser. Now I'm going to do a tutorial on this, but I'll give you a basic description of what a bootleg trouser is. It's fitted on the top area, and as it goes down it goes wider. Okay, that's the two fronts and this is the two backs. This is on silk, and I'm going to make this is the dress. Now the dress, what we're going to do is it has a pattern that falls in between, so I'm going to bring this pattern in closer in a few places. I've cut the kameez extra wide because it's going to get bought in like a box pleated effect, so that all these patterns, once they're pleated, they fall and they form like a quite up on the top. It's going to form like a quite a nice detailed edging. The kameez is not going to be very long, it's going to be slightly flared out wide, but this all needs pressing before it'll take shape. So it's a wide kameez which has been cut quite wide. Really, if you want to design something like this, try and get a pattern fabric which there's a space in between, and when you bring the two fabrics, take out the space and bring it together, it'll give a more focused design on the close neckline area. So that's I've cut two pieces like this. Now the chemise with this, I've cut it in a normal size. So the kameez I've cut wider, but the chemise I've just cut this like a normal kameez, because once the gathers go in that, on that, it will fit just right onto this. It will narrow down and just fit right onto this. Okay, that's no, I don't think I've cut sleeves with this. Okay. Now this had a border like this, and I've taken away the border, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to scallop this. I'm going to burn this out, and this scalloped edging I'm going to add to the bottom of the trouser just to blend it in with the kameez. Okay, and that's basically it. That's going to be enough for, hopefully enough for the trouser. Now for Sarah, I've done a full semicircle dress. Again, this has a fabric, this has a pattern that, again, obviously the same fabric, a pattern running. So what I've done is on the straight grain I've cut, this is the waist area, but this waist area I've cut it slightly wider because I'm going to do two sort of box pleats here just to give this like a nice puffed up effect. And then the lining with this, I've cut it slightly smaller, just the right waist area. Okay, that waist area is just right, but the other one, you can see the flare. So once you hold it like this, you get the full flare, and this is going to be, and Sarah's got nice shoes. Can you see that's sort of like that much wider? So when we put the two pleats in, it's going to make it. When we put the pleats in, it's going to give it a puffed up effect. And with this, I've just cut like a little bit on a biased fabric. I've cut a churidar and little sleeves and a little top. What's it called? Honestly, I think I've had lack of sleep. My mind is going a bit berserk. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's inshallah. That's 5 suits that my intention. Even more than 5 actually. 6 suits that I intend to sew. Okay, the 6th one, I'm going to share that one with you as well. It's a little Garrara that I've made in this net. Beautiful pink net that I've made a Garrara. Now initially I made a Kalidar dress with this. This is a Kalidar dress that I've made to go with this Garrara. But you know what? I just wasn't fascinated with it. I suppose you become too fussy. And I've become too fussy, and I really didn't, this didn't appeal to me. So I went around and sourced something else. I had a bit of net left over, and I had this net from a very long time ago. So I thought, well, this dress, they can just wear it on its own. But with this, what we're going to do is we're going to make a normal little kameez like this. So I have my hands full today because I will be making this dress to go on top of this as well, and with little sleeves, and these are all the little bits and bats and the lace to go at the bottom of it. So I don't know, I've got my work cut out. Let's see how much we manage to accomplish. If I put my head down and if I don't get disturbed, then inshallah I'm aiming to get all this done. So wish me luck.